Hello and welcome back, freedom seekers. Perhaps those of you who think about living in a caravan full-time, you are wondering and debating, well, shall we go for a tourer or for a static caravan? So in this video, I'm going to compare what is static like and what is a touring caravan like when it comes to living arrangements and to full-time living. What are pros and cons of each? Because there are, and I don't think there is a clear winner, but perhaps you disagree. So please join me in this video in a comparison of a static caravan and a touring caravan when it comes to living in a caravan full-time. Which one is better, cheaper, more convenient, more interesting? Which one is easier to move, obviously. So this is going to be a quite interesting comparison. So please join me, give this video a like, and let's think together. If you could live in a caravan full-time, would you choose a touring caravan or a static caravan, and why? This particular caravan is Regal Somerton. It's 40 feet per 13. And the first difference between this one and a tourer is that this is a static caravan, which means it's anchored to the ground. It's not designed to be moved. It's designed to be sited on the pitch and left alone. It has wheels, but don't be fooled. These are only for transport. These caravans are not hitched to the car, and you can't just hitch and tow them on the road. Whereas a touring caravan, even as big as ours, double axis, 23 foot per 8 and almost 2 tons in weight, it is still relatively easy to tow, provided you have a suitable tow car and you don't need a lorry, you don't need a crane to move your tourer from place to place. These are often called mobile homes, but don't be fooled. It's not something you can tow. You need a lorry to transport them. It's not as easy as with a tourer. This static caravan weighs almost 9 tons, and as you can see, it has many support jacks and it has many anchorage points. It's anchored to the pitch with those chains, so it's really secure. It is here to stay. It is static in full meaning of this word. It's plumbed and connected to the mains, so you've got clean water and grey waste. Everything is plumbed in. There's no filling up or emptying of anything. Electric, water, gas, grey waste, everything is plumbed in just like at home, which makes me super envious, especially when it comes to toilet and gas. No gas cylinders. It's connected to the mains. Those of us who have seasonal pitches, we do plumb in our caravans semi-permanently, I would say, but those setups are not as robust and not as rigid as with statics. And even though this one is connected to the drain and to running water and electrics, it's very easy to disconnect. It could be done in a few minutes, and tourers are not plumbed in, not connected to the mains for good, let's say, for obvious reasons. We want to keep our tourers mobile, and most of people want to move their tourer from place to place, from site to site. Tourers are not connected to the mains gas installation. We use cylinders instead, and most of people who live in tourers suffer from the same pain of emptying the toilet cassette. Unfortunately, there's no connection to the sewage system. There's the plastic box which needs to be emptied. Let's get in to explore what are the differences which are hiding there inside. Welcome to the inside of a 2-bedroom static caravan, and we have here a lounge, a kitchen, 2 bedrooms, 1 ensuite, 2 bathrooms. They're actually separate rooms. There are 2 separate bedrooms. So imagine space and privacy you can only dream of in a tourer, unless you have an American fifth wheel. But in a standard tourer, so much space, so many rooms, you can just dream about it. I don't have a tape measure with me, but I believe that kitchen and the lounge of this caravan itself is the equivalent of our whole tourer. We live in Mill Park. Yeah, statics are much bigger, and even a small static has 2 bedrooms. Bigger statics has 3, maybe even 4 bedrooms. Even in a small static, you have far more space and far more separate rooms than in a tourer. Tourer is cozy, and even a big tourer like our Fendt is tiny comparing to a static caravan. In a tourer, you basically have 1 room, and the only room which is separate and private is a bathroom. Heating is a big one. Look at this boiler. Combi boiler for heating hot water and for providing heat. Connected to gas, the mains. Absolutely amazing. A bit bigger than Truma in your tourer. And we have central heating. We have heaters, just like you would find at home. We've got traditional heaters in every single room. So it's really toasty, and we have a thermostat as well, which means we can set the temperature and be really comfortable. So not only we have a heater in every single room, we also have this beautiful fireplace in the lounge. So that sounds absolutely incredible. Loads of heaters, gas installation. But think about the cost of heating all these rooms in winter. There are not many clear advantages of a touring caravan over a static caravan when it comes to living full-time, but this is clearly a winner. In this case, the touring caravan is clearly a winner because heating up this space, heating up a tourer in winter will cost you a fraction of what you would have spent on heating a static with multiple rooms and much bigger space. Instead of a boiler, at least in our touring caravan, we have a gas heater, and we don't have radiators in different rooms. We have those hot air outlets in different points of the caravan, and that's a substitute of central heating. It's a pretty good system, but it's nothing like having home-like radiators in every single room. We don't have radiators because there is simply no space for them in a tourer. The next thing which is different in tourers and statics are appliances and built-in appliances and the quality and size of them. This is, ladies and gents, a fridge freezer. In a static, everything is bigger. Have you ever seen a stove like that in a tourer? Plus the extractor and a full-size dishwasher, and of course my favorite, normal toilet. Hard to beat this one. Well, you can find tourers with toilets which look like that, which look like any normal home toilet, but we all know where waste ends up and what you have to do with the cassette. Beautiful showers. Yeah, you can get a tourer with a separate shower with a real cubicle, and but that means that will be at the cost of your living space. So usually bigger bathrooms like that in tourers are at the back of your tourer, and it usually means that this is at the cost of an island bed because you can't fit everything in a tourer. And it seems that you can fit everything in a static. We do have built-in kitchen appliances in a tourer, but they are much smaller than in a static. Are you still here? Are you still with me? I hope you are, and I hope you will give this video a like and comment, because we love reading your comments and we respond to every single one. The next interesting aspect and next interesting difference between a static and a tourer is resistance to the elements, especially if you plan to live in your caravan in winter. This one weighs over 9 tons and is secured with chains, and it's supported by multiple jacks. It's secured to the ground with chains, and I doubt you will ever feel a gust of wind in the static. You will hear the rain tapping on your roof, just like we did last night, and that made me feel at home. But in general, when it comes to winter storms and high winds and heavy rain, you feel more surrounded and more secure in a heavier, bigger static than you do in a mobile tourer. Think about the difference in weight. 1 ton, maybe up to 1.5, 2 with bigger tourers, and this one weighs almost 9 tons. Those of you who've been watching and following us for a long time, you may remember an older video showing how we slept in a pub, in a campsite pub, during a winter storm because we simply didn't feel safe in our tourer. Yes, so sometimes it's not safe during high winds, during storms. We simply seek shelter in a building. I don't know if you watched this video, do you remember it? Here is the link, but don't leave me yet, I'm not done yet here, so you may enjoy the video after finishing this one. If you plan to live in a caravan full-time, storage space will be vital and super important. And as you can imagine, you get much more storage in a static. Well, you have separate rooms, so it's easier to organize your stuff. And in this static, probably 4 people could live very comfortably. You've got a flat-like, house-like kitchen with all the kitchen storage you would expect. Built-in wardrobes in the bedrooms, and this is like a home-size wardrobe. Even more storage in your master bedroom. Shelves next to the bed for books and whatnot. There's always plenty of storage above beds in statics. It seems that we have storage everywhere, but if you pay attention and you look closely, look, it's not as good as it seems. They are not very deep, those cabinets. You will put stuff, of course, you will put much more than in a tourer in this bathroom. You will fit much more things, but this furniture is caravan style, not home style. It's not very deep. It's not very deep at all, look. Can't even fit my hand here. So don't be fooled, even if you choose to live in a static caravan, you will not be able to keep all your belongings. I believe that even with all this storage space, maybe one person living in a 1-bedroom flat, they could fit all their possessions with them here. Of course, except the building appliances and furniture, but I mean your personal belongings like clothes and toiletries, books and so on. I think you could, you could fit it all here. For a family, I'm not sure. We have quite a lot of storage space in our tourer, but it's nothing like what we had in a static. So if you plan living in a tourer, prepare for a big sort out. And even a generous under sofa storage may not be enough to fit all your belongings. Outside space is another interesting aspect because most of statics do come with decking, and holiday parks with static caravans, they do not have problems with deckings and decks. Most of those static caravans have their decking and a really lovely outside space. I think it's a bit of a hit and miss with tourers because most of caravan sites with tourers, they may or may not allow you to build a decking. And the final aspect, ladies and gents, let's talk about money, the cost of buying a static. A 2017 2-bedroom static on this site costs around £50,000. So it is more, much more than a tourer of the same age, but tourer is much smaller. And when you buy a static, you really have to pay attention if it's on-site or off-site. Usually statics which are sold off-site without a pitch are much cheaper. If your static is already in a holiday park, it's connected to the mains, it's on its pitch, it will cost you far, far more. And one more thing to remember, if you own a static and it is in a holiday park, remember that each time the static is sold, you have to pay commission to the park. And it's a percentage of the value of the sale, and that can come easily in thousands of pounds, because if a 5-year-old static on site costs about £50,000, a new one, brand new, may cost anything from 150,000 upwards to even 300,000 pounds and 450,000 pounds. So we are really talking about prices of properties right now. There is no tourer which will cost you that much, even for a new one. Maybe American fifth wheels will match the prices of static caravans. And I'm talking about new caravans right now. So let me know, based on your research perhaps, whether you agree or disagree. Older statics can be bought for a few £1,000s, but they are usually sold off-site, which means you have to arrange transport, you have to find a pitch for them. And many holiday parks do not accept older statics because they make the most of the money selling brand new statics, which they site for you, connect for you, and everything is prepared for you. You don't have to worry about anything but paying. Why don't we buy a static? Why do we live in a touring caravan? If something like this could provide so much luxury, space, comfort. There is no quick answer to this question, but some of you may have guessed by now why we choose to live in a tourer and not in a static. However, if you would like to see a separate video in which I explain those things in detail, please write a comment, why not a static, under this video. So that's it from me for today. I hope you enjoyed my comparison of a static caravan and a touring caravan when it comes to living in it full time. If you have any more questions, if you would like to know more about this topic, please write it in the comments. I hope I will hear from you. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate the fact that you spend your time with me, that you come to visit my channel, and that you are reaching out to us. So the next video we will publish on Wednesday, and I will see you during the live stream on Sunday evening at 7 p.m. the UK time. And this will be an opportunity for you to have a catch up with me, and I will have a catch up with you. I would love to know your news and hear what you are doing, where you are, and what are your camping, caravanning, and generally life plans. So we like to hang out with our viewers during those Sunday evening sessions, especially now in winter when we are indoors much more, the evenings are longer, and it's just so lovely to spend time with you guys, because as you know, autumn and winter on a caravan site is quite quiet and lonesome. So we really appreciate those Sunday live streams with you, and I hope you will be able to join me. Thank you very much for watching. If you haven't done it yet, please subscribe to the channel, which always gives us a big boost if we see new subscribers around. Thank you, and see you in the next video. Bye!